I feel like I'm starting like an 80s aerobic.
And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. The one black guy. Yes.
It reminds me of the one that Key and Peele did.
Yes. Oh my God.
God, so
your
great.
wife was in a horrible accident. He's like,
Just keep dancing.
Still dancing. It's going on.
So good. Well, what's up, Mason? Man, how's your week been, bro?
I feel like I haven't seen you in like a week.
I know, dude. Well, it's been a long week. The week, it's weird. The week goes by quick. I think we've talked about this before. The week goes by quickly, but then looking back on the week that has passed, like,
It was
wow,
a hell of a week. Yeah.
Because I went to Disneyland last weekend.
Yeah. Halloween just passed.
Yeah, Halloween in Disneyland is really cool.
Yeah. I bet.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
We didn't go to the Haunted Mansion ride though, because it was like a 2-hour wait all day.
Really?
Yeah. Like, we're not going there.
Yeah. No.
But it was awesome. But last time, the thing that sucked, and this is just like first world problems here, is that I bought Assassin's Creed that Thursday night that we recorded the podcast. Yeah. And, God, I was just like, I just wanted to play it so bad all weekend. And I couldn't, you know? So, I've gotten to play a lot more since then. But how was your week, man?
Dude,
pretty quick for you as well?
You put it perfectly. It's like you think back on it and it felt like a lifetime, but it really went by pretty quick.
Yeah.
Had a lot going on. Glad to hear you had fun in Disneyland.
It was good,
cool.
man.
I forgot you were going, and then like Monday it hit me, and I was like,
oh yeah,
went to Disneyland. Yeah. I want to talk about that.
It's not gaming related.
Okay, fine. We just won't even talk about it then.
I guess not.
Forget what I was about to say about Halloween.
Yeah, fuck Disneyland.
Fuck everything except for games.
I love Disneyland.
Just hung out, man. Had a relatively busy week. Had some stuff happen. Tuesday was Halloween. The lady friend and I took off work. Because it was one of the few times recently where we've been completely alone for like relatively an entire day. So naturally, the romantic that I am, we just binge watched Stranger Things season 2 all day, and it was incredible. God, what a good fucking show!
Yeah, that show. And can I just say, I know we don't generally talk about shows.
Whatever.
And I will say, the three of us, so Kevin, yourself,
right,
and myself, and I. And you and him.
And that's like 5 people.
Wait a minute. I just went in a circle and I talked about the same 3 people
pronouns.
twice.
Wait a minute.
No, I would love to do sort of a all-in-one review discussion, 30 minutes or 40 minutes or whatnot.
It will not be 30 minutes.
I think we might be able to because it'll be post-entire season.
Okay.
And we're going to have a hard time remembering what episode's
right.
which,
and
it's going to be a little more condensed.
Yeah.
More filed down, I think.
You're completely right. At the time we do it, Kevin will probably have the fresher memory of it and everything, so he can catch us up on everything. And then, I'd like to go back, kind of compare it to season 1.
Yeah.
Everyone's impressions.
I think the biggest achievement, though, just like real generally, my favorite thing about the season, and this is no spoilers at all.
No,
is just the fact that they managed to give us so much information about the fiction of the world at the end of the first season, and then still have a bunch of mysterious shit that you have no idea what's going on in the second.
Yeah, no idea.
Which is, because sometimes you give, Stephen King has always been about holding information back until the very end of the book, and even then, maybe not giving everything.
Yeah.
Because he feels like that's more, once you know everything, the chances of the audience being disappointed because they had an expectation. Is lowered. So I was a little worried coming into season 2. Like, how are they going to... The best part of Stranger Things season 1 is you're just like, what is happening?
I have no idea. It's like one level after another level of like crazy weirdness.
And that one song they played, beer, 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 beer. You're like, oh my
very
God.
80s,
it's so
very synthy kind of thing.
It's so horrifying, disturbing song, and they did it again. I was like perplexed throughout. I'm not quite done yet, but I've been perplexed throughout the whole thing, not knowing quite what's happening. And that's like kudos to the writing. That was awesome.
Oh, they great. The writing, the actors are all awesome. They got everybody back.
Everyone back
from season 1. I don't know why you wouldn't, making that kind of money, I'm sure, but they got everyone back. I love. Nah, never mind. It's kind of a spoiler.
Yeah,
so
we'll get into it in that review.
Yeah,
but I'm glad we kind of brought it up. Well, if you last week you'd had a rough week of gaming. You played almost nothing for a week,
dude.
How was this week? In
struggle
comparison?
Is real. Okay,
your TV is MIA or not? Oh, it's KIA.
It's still KIA.
It's KIA.
Very KIA. Okay. MIA and KIA. All the IAs. It's doing nothing in action right now, and it's a real bummer. A lot has happened to me, gaming related wise, but as far as sitting down and playing the games, still a pretty dull week for me. But I'm making progress on all fronts. Hear me out, Ian. TV. Doing a lot of research this time around.
Sure, yeah.
Checking out kind of the top stuff for my price range. I've fallen around the Sony, Samsung, Vizio triangle of love that is TVs. And
all good brands.
All great brands from what I understand. And,
I'm almost to that point where I'm gonna be like a brand loyalist at this point, though.
Yeah, what you said Vizio, right?
I've had 3 straight Vizios, and they've just never disappointed me.
Yeah, no, and that's
all 3 of them still function to this.
That's what you hear about it, and those 3 brands in particular, like you hear, quality, customer service is fantastic, and then you hear like. As far as for gaming, which is what I was looking, was for good refresh rates. I don't want any motion blur with my previous TV, as you remember.
Yeah.
It has motion blur built in and no option to shut it off. And so I'm like, oh my, yeah. Maybe it's better that it's dead.
Yeah.
But I think I have decided to wait for the deals to start coming out.
Sure.
Which is going to make for a rough couple of weekends. But I'll get through it.
Coming over here more often and playing some more games, bro.
I'm just going to go live at Ian's so I have a TV I can play.
So, the problem with that would be like I would be over your shoulder all the time. Like, what are you playing?
What you doing?
Playing Fortnite. Oh, really? Fortnite, huh?
Oh, Fortnite, huh?
All right. Well, I guess I'll just leave you to that.
Couple other games you can play. You just have a Witcher shrine set up for me, just ready to go. No, yeah. So, but I'm making progress there. I'm making progress on the PC front.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, let's get into that.
Great progress. Let's dive into that, man. I was excited to tell you about it. I know you're not quite the PC Nazi loyalist that some of our other friends are, but...
I'm not a loyalist. I just love them all. If it plays great games, I'm into it. I don't give a fuck about any of that.
I'm pretty stoked about it, man. I took it over to our, you know Kevin. You've heard of this Kevin guy? I took it over to his place. He helped me get everything set up. The PC, I don't know how much we talked about it before. I got it from somebody. It was having problems. He didn't really know what was going on with it. So he, kind of gave it to me, and we took a look at it, took it over to Kevin's. Long story short, I think we got the problem figured out. Nothing has cost me any money so far. So far, so good. And it works. So figured out the problem. So do we have an idea? Was it a specific component? Or? Yeah, we believe it was a graphics card. It is pretty outdated.
Overheating or just outdated?
Not overheating. Just kind of outdated. Do you know
what it was by chance?
Yeah, doing a lot of research online, people that were having similar problems found that if you had newer drivers for that type of graphics card on an older version of it, they were conflicting somehow and it wasn't meshing. So when I went back and I downloaded drivers for this graphics card, keep in mind it was made in 2012. Okay. It's like a GTX 540 or something. Okay. Like, it's not great. No. Made in like 2012. I went back and I installed drivers from like the original update of the graphics card, and it seems to have fixed it.
That'll still be okay for you, depending on what you're playing.
Yeah, no, I'm not playing. I don't have any immediate intentions of playing AAA new releases on PC. You know what I mean? It's like that's not my.
Yeah, I mean, depending on what. So you have it up. Let's say you get your new TV. Mm-hmm. How are you thinking you're going to end up splitting that time? Like, what do you want a PC for, or what do you want to play on?
For right now, it's for PUBG and for Total War.
Okay,
those are my.
Did you get any Total War games?
No,
yet?
I have to get it set up first. I don't have everything done quite yet. Still missing a few key components. Okay, so we got the graphics card set. It actually had, which surprised Kevin. I didn't know anything about PC components until 2 days ago.
Oh, really? Okay.
Where I did research at work and I kind of educated myself to not kind of go in blind. And then
even I only know the basics.
Yeah, and then he kind of cleared it up for me. He shined it up a little bit, so I know what I would consider the basics.
Do you know how much RAM do you have?
Yeah, it's 16 gigabytes.
Oh fuck yeah,
which is good. Which is from what I understand.
No, it's fantastic.
Yeah, there's people who'll be like, 32.
32 is
if you're streaming
overkill.
Yeah,
I mean, I have 16 in mine.
And yours is perfect.
Great.
Kevin was really shocked by the processor it had in it. Apparently, like an Intel i7. Which is really decent.
Yeah.
And then, so the only thing really lacking is the motherboard and the graphics card are both kind of old.
Sure.
But dude, at this
point... How
big
is the hard drive, do you know?
1 terabyte.
Oh, it is a terabyte. Wow, dude, you're fucking fine.
So it's not terrible, from what I understand?
No, dude, the Xbox One and PS4 have 8 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
So, you're set, dude. For sure. Dude, and obviously, the computer does a lot more in the background than a console does, but, if you keep it... I've kept my computer super clean. I don't mean like I'm watching porn. I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that like I don't install a lot of shit. Yeah. I have the fundamental programs that I need.
Yeah.
and the only thing that's on my computer save video games is my recordings, and that's it. You know what I mean? So
you don't have any weird like background, like
I don't have a shit ton of stuff going on. Weird... I don't have a bunch of backgrounds programs. I barely even use it for the internet. Like I don't go to anything that I might think is a strange site or a low site.
Your phone for most things. Like...
Yeah, so I keep it. It's specifically designed for playing games and recording games, and that is it,
dude. So I you know me, I try not to get like too overly excited about things before they kind of come to fruition. But I am slowly getting really stoked about this.
Total War games are very, very well. What's the word? The PC word for speccing well for different tiers of machines. Like, everyone in the audience is screaming at me right now, like, that's this! I'm just drawing a blank on a word that we use all the time for that. But they do a good job of making it to where if you have a low, quote-unquote, lower end...
You still get a good experience.
And yours is, you're ahead of, like Tim has played hundreds of hours of Total War on his little thing. You're all way ahead of him.
Yeah.
Also... I have the GTX 970 in here, which is not the newest thing. But what I'm hearing from people who know a lot more than me, like Chris and Jimmy, are saying they wish, like Chris was telling me, he wished he hadn't upgraded from the 970 because the upgrades that came out subsequently were barely even better.
Oh, really?
The 970 is sort of a milestone. So I'm comfortable. I won't have to change it for several more years.
That's incredible, man.
So if you go get one that's not on the edge.
Yeah.
Get one, look for the best reviews, and get one that's a couple years behind, and you'll be set.
Yeah, man, I was super stoked to talk about it. I didn't want to like dive into the PC rabbit hole, but
I'm down to dive. That's a big part of our.
No, we have a lot to go over too, but so yeah, that kind of played into me waiting for the holiday deals because I have the TV to buy. I'm still missing a lot of accessories for the PC.
Sure.
So like. I'm crazy, super fortunate, that I've made it this far. I have all this stuff just because I have great friends that have like gifted it to me. As far as the PC and Kevin helping me out with getting everything fixed and everything.
I have some hard disk Total Wars. We'd like to take those with you,
dude. The way I'm putting it is, I'm not going to ask you for anything. Whatever you're willing to part with, I will gladly take from you.
I want them back someday, but whatever. I have them all digitally on Steam.
Absolutely, and
so I don't care.
I'm still missing a few like hardware components, like Jeff might be able to spare me an old monitor of his that he doesn't use anymore. I still need a mouse. I still need a decent keyboard. I do have a keyboard. That's it. So
sure.
Still lacking in the...
I saw a mouse in a picture you sent me.
There's a catch with that. There is a mouse. It's like half a mouse. It doesn't go up. So, I mean...
Well, bro, I got this shit for $20.
Yeah.
I got this wireless mouse. It's been absolutely fantastic for me. $20 on Amazon.
Yeah.
What brand is it? Zelotes.
Ole! Okay. Fuegos.
It's been fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I wanted to call it Zealots, but then I had an E in there. I'm like, what are you doing?
Zelote.
And it would need an A actually as well. So never mind. It's not even close to the word zealot. I'm an idiot. This is what I am.
But yeah, I'm getting there. Yeah, so we're slowly making progress, but it hasn't really costed me anything so far, and I'm pretty excited about it, man.
That's awesome, man. I can't wait. I can't wait for you to become a slave to Total War.
I know.
Which is interesting because I've actually kind of have not been playing a ton of it.
That's what it seems like.
Recently, just because I've just been playing nothing but Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
For this whole week, that I haven't even thought about going and playing Total War. Yeah. But that happens to me with Total War. Like, there's never a time where I'm like, ugh, I don't want to play it. I mean, I always will love to play it if there's a reason. But like when I have something that's got its hooks in me like that, it just kind of goes to the background.
I have no experience with Total War, but I feel like those games, when I mean Total War, are games that don't have like a shelf life. They're just
there's something I'm always playing. Yeah.
Whereas like with Assassin's Creed that you've been playing, in a couple months the conversation will kind of go away.
Yep.
Not your interest will go away, but that kind of
you're always coming back to Total War. It's something that it's omnipresent. It's always something available. I don't ever uninstall any of them.
Yeah,
I have them all installed.
I mean, you talked about last time you went back and played
Rome 2.
Played Rome 2, yeah.
Yep.
So
yeah, absolutely. So that's definitely true. I don't feel, but the thing is, like, I haven't even beaten a campaign in Warhammer 2 yet. Like,
yeah,
I only have about 20, 25 hours into that game because it's just so many games coming out right now, and So it's crazy. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to
Cool.
absolutely. We can play together.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
You know, I can make recording on my end, and we can do campaigns and shit. You know, on
there's like a whole
you're coming. The biggest thing that the PC allowed me to do ZeroHP.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing.
That's what I'm excited for, man. Is I don't know, you know, with the amount of RAM I have, should be totally fine. I can now get into like video editing and everything, which I've wanted to do for a long time. I always felt bad I couldn't help with that.
Yeah,
because on my laptop I have like 4 megabytes of RAM.
Yeah,
and so I'm just not running anything. You know what I mean?
You're not going to run anything.
It has trouble with like Microsoft Word.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I can run Audacity on it and stuff like that. Cool. I can record on it, but
so if we did a recording,
that thing we talked about earlier, I was like wanted to reassure you I was kidding and that it will run recordings on it. But video editing is really taxing.
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
It's totally taxing. So 16, like I said, you have all somewhat similar specs to mine.
Just a way older graphics card.
The graphics
probably
card
a way
is
older
behind.
Motherboard.
Yeah.
And, other than that, I mean,
yours
is a lot better.
The
looking.
one thing, right. The one thing I'd like to get for my PC is a solid state hard drive.
Yeah. How big?
Even just a terabyte.
Yeah.
It would be even just if it's external. Because what I could do is I could attach it and then just move everything that's Steam, or move everything that's recorded.
Yeah.
Over. I'd remove Steam. I would put Steam on it because you want it when you load games. You want to load games on a solid state hard drive. It's way faster.
Okay.
Loading games, so it doesn't even. I don't know. Again, a little beyond my.
And I know a quarter of what you know. So believe me, you're the expert.
A little beyond my resume for sure, but it's just sort of basically the way that it organizes file and loads up files. It's quicker. It's more streamlined. It's able to just blast through all of those processes a lot quicker.
We should do. Not to interrupt you. We should get Chris or Jimmy in here and
I'd
do
love
like a PC.
I actually
episode.
talked to Jimmy about doing a eulogy for Dead Space.
Yeah.
I wanted
that'd
to
be
have
really
him
cool.
do a eulogy for Dead Space.
That would be really cool.
Just because with visceral closing and everything. So he wanted to do that, but easier said than done getting everyone in one room.
Yeah,
these days.
no, he's super busy. But I meant like with their PC expertise.
Yeah,
It'd be cool.
That would be fantastic. Yeah, Kevin and Jimmy. Kevin is very knowledgeable as well.
Yeah, he just helped me out a lot.
Yeah, Kevin. You know what I mean? Kevin. Kudos to Kevin, man, because he was probably like right around where I am just a few years ago. Like basic, definitely knowledgeable, but not And then he just took it upon himself and has become an expert. Just like this.
Yeah, when he was doing it, he was opening up all kinds of things I had never seen before on the PC, like weird task manager situations.
He's way ahead of me.
I was like, oh man, what's going on?
The different levels of expertise is
crazy. And I feel like PC expertise is almost endless. But we were running Skyrim on it.
Yeah, I saw the picture you sent me.
It was really interesting. Like
it was running Skyrim probably fine.
No, it ran it great.
Yeah.
And for a guy who put 800 plus hours into Skyrim, it still blew my mind to see it move smoothly. It was really weird because like
it's a huge difference.
To me, bigger than graphics, it more than anything is frame rates. I love it when something pulls off good frame rates. So like to me, Skyrim always ran well, but like to see it run like butter. It's like really weird. Like you're shooting arrows and they're coming out of your bow.
Yeah.
Like it's because how on console you would fire and it would there's your arrow. Like kind of a second delay behind it. Like it's just non-existent. It was super weird to me.
Yeah, it is. It's the slightest difference, but there's so many slight differences.
It's really eye-opening
that it can be kind of overwhelmingly better. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Totally.
But I'm slowly getting excited, man. It's going to be an expensive holiday for myself.
I'm curious to see what kind of ratio you have, if you're closer to Kevin or closer to me.
I think it'll be way closer to you only because for games like Overwatch, which Kevin has talked about playing heavily on PC, for games like even Fortnite, I wouldn't play it on PC, especially not right now.
You wouldn't play Overwatch on PC?
I don't know. I would play it to play.
That's a game that's.
I would play it to play with them, but I'm just so at home on Xbox for Overwatch. I put so many hours into it, like 90 or something.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm really comfortable there. I have my ranking there. But like on PC, like Fortnite, for example, there's so many cheaters and modders and all this crazy aimbot shit that would just drive me nuts, which I know I'm going to get on PUBG too, but that's the only place I can play it right now. And on Xbox, it's going to be a train wreck when it comes out.
Oh, yeah.
A train wreck when it comes out. And that's coming from the guy who is obsessed with this game and doesn't even own it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a fucking nightmare when it comes out. Because they don't even have it right on PC yet.
No, they don't.
I'm just trying to get my fix, man. And
Xbox, they're just trying. Microsoft is just trying to corner their market, which is competitive first-person shooter, and that's the hot competitive first-person shooter right now. So I understand why they're doing that, but yeah, it's not going to be good. I don't think. Maybe they'll blow us away.
Maybe we're both totally wrong.
I don't know.
But I didn't mean to make that all about me, man. I'm really excited.
No.
I appreciate, and you as well.
Yeah,
Yours and
I'm
everybody's
excited for you
has
to...
been like super supportive with me about this whole fucking process being so little, having such
Dude,
little knowledge.
You're walking out of here with a bunch of Total War games in your...
I'm not asking for anything.
Bag.
It's on recording. It's on recording, people.
I'm giving them to you.
I got a gun to the man's head right now, telling him to act nice.
I'll just remind me. I'll get them on the shelf. I mean, that's... Dude, those are my... Didn't I put that shit in my top 5 or no? I think I did.
I guarantee you put Total War
we
somewhere.
We did. If you're a newer listener, we did our top 5.
Go check it out.
Episode. I don't really remember.
Go check it out.
Like,
it's probably changed completely.
No, my top 5 hasn't changed.
No, except for my top 3 for sure.
My 5 has not changed, for sure. Has not changed. I remember the games. I just remember the order.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's been an interesting week, man. Have you seen anything? I know I haven't talked to you about Assassin's Creed at all.
Not a word.
Nope.
And I was very heartbroken. My feelings
you were heartbroken.
My feelings were hurt all week.
What?
Because you got Assassin's Creed and then went radio silent on me for like a week.
I've been radio silent to everyone.
Dude, I expected midnight 05 that night to hear like, dude, this is the greatest fucking thing ever. And I never heard anything from you. And I was like, well, he must not like it. And then you just never. And I was like, okay, maybe he's waiting for the podcast.
Yeah, it was pretty much that.
But usually you'll text me and give me like a little taste of something. like, hey, dude, Assassin's Creed. And then just leave it at that.
I'll do a better job.
Not even that. Keep me updated, man. I don't live here, even though I might soon.
That would be awesome. We'd be like a goddamn apartment complex up in here.
Yeah, Alyssa would definitely move out. But other than that little
Doug
detail,
and Mason just walking around.
Sup?
What's going on?
We just add like another story, just a gaming story to your house.
Yes,
be dope.
Be great, man. Yeah, so
I want to hear about Assassin's Creed before we dive into this Paris Games Week talk.
Yes, which is going to be the majority of the show, and there's a little thing I want to throw in there too before we do that.
Yeah.
So I won't spend too much time on it. I'm about. I just checked because I was playing it when you came in.
Yeah.
I'm 17 hours in right now.
Whoo!
And I didn't even get to play it over the weekend.
You're not slacking, dude.
Wait until the fucking weekend.
You're not slacking off.
That's on weekdays only.
That's some dedication.
It's all I want to do is play it. All I want to do is play it.
So you hate it? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I don't hate it. I'm really excited to review this game when I do my review. I don't know I have no clue what my score is right now because there's a lot still left to go. A lot. But it's really cool. I like to see I love it when a game is in development. Obviously, it's been in development for 3 years, 4 years, something like that. Yeah. Witcher came out. Horizon came out February of this year, and Witcher came out in 2015. So obviously, the game was already well in development by that time. But with that thought in mind, this game is sort of like this sounds negative connotation to it, and I don't. This is not pejorative at all, but it's a poor man's Witcher, and that's not a negative thing. Mm-hmm. That is not a negative thing. Mm-hmm. This is probably probably my favorite Assassin's Creed game since the Ezio trilogy.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. And when I say poor man's, I just mean that it plays just like those games.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very clearly inspired. I just didn't want to say they're copying because
no.
They were in development way before those games came out. But there's no way that you can play those two games and then play this and be like, oh, this is nothing like that.
It's totally
they
unique.
are. The structure and the way, even the way, where you have primary missions and then side missions and it tells you what suggested level it is, and like, I just the way that works is so similar to those games.
Yeah.
Even where the missions are... I don't know if everyone's on the same wavelength here, these open world games. I feel like a lot of people are getting kind of sick of them. Mm-hmm. But they work pretty well when they're done right. And I'm really enjoying this one so far.
Good, man.
Yeah. I'm fucking into this game right now.
Yeah.
It is so different from every other Assassin's Creed game ever that it's surprising. I'm surprised Ubisoft let them go that far from the farm, if you will, just with combat and just the way that the world functions with the player and like everything is just, it's a lot different. It has some of the old legacy problems still. It's not technically great sometimes, as far as like yesterday I was riding really fast on my horse, and as I entered a really densely populated city, it was trying to populate in a cow.
Oh yeah.
But I was too far ahead of it, and so the game like thought that the cow was in the air. So when it hit the ground, blood spattered everywhere, and it went flying down the road.
Just raining cows from the sky.
Or like you can change mounts. So I went from a camel, and the camels are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Went from a camel to a horse, and I had a person riding with me on the camel. I got off the camel, I changed mounts. The camel disappeared. The dude fell on the ground and ragdolled. Oh,
no. Oh, my God.
I was laughing my ass off. He was just sitting there, and the camel disappeared. And then the horse appeared on top of him. And so, there's just those little things like that. And that's not to say that it's not Unity. This game is not broken.
Yeah.
I have run into a few things like that. You're like just kind of like facepalm for a second and then just move on. I kind of break it.
Quirky little.
Yeah, very quirky stuff. I mean, like there's a thing where you can drive like a cart, horse-drawn cart, and it steers like shit. And I've had to restart the section of a mission because they get stuck on a railing or something.
Oh yeah.
Just little shit like that. Sort of. So it's slightly less polished Witcher.
Okay, yeah.
I would say. And everything about it is like Witcher, just a little bit less.
Yeah.
The dialogue, with the exception of the main character who we'll get into, a lot of the dialogue is kind of canned. Just not, it's not great. So a lot of the side missions are just kind of wonky. They're trying and they're doing well, but when you compare it, it's like they get blown out of the water in a few areas. And it's hard for me not to compare it, dude. I mean, it's strikingly similar formula to Witcher. Strikingly. From combat to exploration, the way the map works, the way the questing structure is, all of that is very, very similar to the layout that you would play with Witcher. So I bring Witcher up like every week in some capacity.
Yeah.
This is probably the most relevant one.
Kind of the ZeroHP mascot, if you will.
Right? It's my mascot at least. So, but that sounds like a complaint. It's not. My expectation was not that it would be one of the great role-playing games of all time.
Right.
So I'm not faulting it for those things. Ubisoft just has that. I feel like Ubisoft. Do you know what I mean when I say corporate humor?
No.
Like sort of awkward, wooden, forced.
Yeah.
Did you get the joke, Mason?
Yeah. I think if you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a lot of that in this, like where like they're expecting you to be laughing. You're like, oh,
like cringy, kind of cringe.
Yeah, a little bit cringy, but more just like that's not as funny as you think that is.
As your writer room full of people may have thought it was.
Just very, like, I don't know. And that's not constant. I mean, if that were all over the place, it would be unbearable. It's just sort of around the sides. You just hear things, little things. I'm complaining all the time about this. I'm basically just getting my negatives out of the way.
Yeah, that's fine.
Little things that Assassin's Creed have always had. The first Assassin's Creed game, did you play the first one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Remember how you would run around a city and you'd hear the guards say the same shit over and over again?
Yep.
Like, over and over again?
It's hard to think, though, because at the time, that wasn't so unbearable, because I felt like a lot of games were doing that at the time, you know what I mean? But, like, now...
Stop, thief! I'll have your head for that!
Yeah, now that you think about it, like, yeah, it's crazy, but...
That's still sort of a thing, not that bad.
Oh, okay.
But when I'm riding through an area, if you have to kind of... You'll stay in a specific area of a city or a village for a while you're doing quests in that area. So you'll pass through the village, and they all, like if you almost bump into someone while you're on your horse, or if you get in someone's way, like when they're walking around, they say, I guess it's like idiot in Greek or something like that. They say idiote.
Oh, yeah.
And like you'll hear idiote. I've played that game 17 hours. I've heard idiote like 400,000 times. Or idiote, 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 idiote. I'm like, what the? Why does everyone say idiote all the time? Just little things like that. So like I'm nitpicking pretty hardcore right now, but they just you'll pass by and like the one like, little speaker guy's always saying the same shit, and like it's just they I don't know if they didn't or couldn't go that extra couple of feet, that extra mile to make it truly extraordinary open world, kind of with that kind of difficult to write enough lines for these people to make it unique every time you run into them. But short of that, outside of that, this game is fucking awesome. Yeah. It's beautiful. And like, you know when you tell someone, like people have preconceived notions about a place based on pop culture, right? So you're like, Egypt. And you just, when you say ancient Egypt, you just think of a few things. Mm-hmm. Over your lifetime of whatever, going to school, watching movies, seeing TV, all that, you just sort of, it's not that you might not know anything about Egypt, but you have a few things in your mind, right? Like
you think of pyramids and hippos.
Pyramids, hippos, pharaohs, sphinxes, cats, desert, the Nile, right? Alligators, sand, and so
palm trees.
It's got to be really difficult to take that general feeling and make someone feel nostalgic about something that they don't even have nostalgia for. Mm-hmm. And that's what Assassin's Creed probably like the biggest boon, if you will, or like the best thing they did here is like I'm going through, I'm like I feel like God, like I know this place. It feels like Egypt. Really, really, really hardcore. They just did it so well. There's nothing that's bland. It's so gorgeous. You fly with the eagle, just look all over the place, and just everything is interesting. Like, even the deserts are really crazy, man, with the sand blowing off of the dunes, and it just looks, the oasis in the middle, and, you know, it's just awesome. And you just know, like, you see the pyramids in the distance, you're like, wow, there it is. And I don't know, it has a real sense of place that, like, only really for me, that only, like Elder Scrolls. You know, when you're in Elder Scrolls, even though it's a fantasy place, it just feels lived in. It looks right. It looks old and interesting. You know, everything around every corner is like, oh, wow, look at this area. I want to take a picture of this.
It looks natural.
Yeah.
Like it should be there.
They just nailed that shit, man. That's like probably the biggest strength of this game. The open world is, I could just ride around all day. I just love running and exploring. It's fucking huge.
Really?
I haven't even seen... I've probably explored 15% of it.
Really? Yeah. In 17 hours?
Yeah, oh my God.
Are you doing everything, though?
Almost. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to not get too wrapped up in the story, which so far is pretty damn good.
Really?
Yeah. Story's pretty good. I really like Bayek a lot as a main character. I haven't felt connected to really any of the protagonists in the Assassin's Creed, with the exception of the most recent one, Syndicate. I liked them. Mm-hmm. The Fry siblings. Outside of them, I haven't really cared about any of the ones.
Yeah.
Arnaud didn't get a chance, really. I didn't like Edward Kenway as the pirate. I think he was a douchebag. I would have rather played his second mate.
Yeah.
Adewale, or whatever his name was. I didn't like... I'm trying to think of... I don't even remember all of them.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, I didn't really... They're fine. I don't even... You know, I wasn't connected to them at all. Bayek immediately is way... He's got... it. They've simplified the story in the sense that it's just a fucking revenge story. That's it. Which Ezio was, too. Mm-hmm. If you go back and play Assassin's Creed 2, it's a revenge story. These people killed his family. He wants to know why. And this is a similar thing, then. You're just, like, figuring it out. The intro is terrible. Mm-hmm. Makes no fucking sense at all. They really botched the beginning couple hours, story-wise. But once you get through it, and they connect the pieces, and you understand what it's all about. I hear
the prologue is kind of drawn out.
Makes no sense.
Like, and it's really long.
No? Yeah, I mean, it is, but you don't even know you're in the prologue. It's not like Assassin's Creed 3. Oh, that's another one, Connor.
Oh, yeah.
That's another one. Like, Assassin's Creed 3, like, the intro is so long before you are even an adult.
Yeah.
It just takes hours.
You have to, like, play hide and seek and throw a rock.
God, it takes so long to get going in AC3. There's nothing like that. It is long, but I didn't even really realize that they were holding me back. Like, remember in Horizon, where you get through as a kid, and then you become the young woman, and you go. They let you have the whole
That like
area,
beginning
mother's cradle or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
It's just like that.
Okay, cool.
So I was just running around. I didn't even know that I was in the prologue.
You get like a little open world.
You have pretty big,
before
and you got all kinds of stuff to do. And I was into it. I was like, okay, I like this character so far. This game is beautiful. Let's play. So I was just playing, and then I realized, like, way later, it goes, and it shows the title. I'm like, Jesus, that was the prologue?
Yeah, that was kind of the reaction that.
But I
people
wasn't feeling like, fuck, this prologue's taking forever before I realized.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was
maybe
in a
not
prologue.
in a negative way, but people were like, what? "Oh, that was all the prologue."
Yeah,
Kind of
that's
thing?
exactly
okay.
correct.
Gotcha.
And that's when you realize, okay, make your way to Alexandria, and it shows you the map. You're like, holy son of a
Really?
bitch! How am I ever gonna see this?
Yeah,
I mean, it's got to be one of the biggest open worlds ever.
Really?
Yes.
Holy
I could be wrong. I feel like it's almost to scale.
Wow.
Is what it seems
Wow.
like. It is
literally
so
running around Egypt.
huge.
That's
I'm
nuts.
overwhelmed. I'm like I'm not even gonna run around. I'm just gonna follow the storyline and the
yeah.
side missions and just let it show me.
Hit kind of the main points.
Because
and
my
do
God.
fast travel.
Apparently, one of them is literally just the desert.
Oh.
They were like, no, don't condense it. Let's make it realistic.
God. Yeah.
So at some point, you probably have to cross the desert on your camel.
Just
the
for an
music
hour.
is really good.
For an hour, you're just riding.
Yeah. so yeah, man,
days.
I don't know. I mean, combat is way different.
Yeah.
It's not even the same franchise anymore.
Different good.
Yes, absolutely. It's way less passive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Syndicate. I gave Syndicate a high score. I really enjoyed Syndicate. I didn't fault it for its combat because a lot of games were doing that at that time, and I didn't really mind. The animations were so cool, even though it was like totally mind-numbingly easy.
Yeah.
You just hit Y when they attack you, and then hit X and beat them up. Simple, pretty boring, and not hard at all.
Yeah.
It looked really cool.
To your point earlier, comparing it to Assassin's Creed 1, I beat that entire game just by holding the counter button and just killing everybody.
Yep.
Like with a hidden blade.
Just one at a time.
Yeah.
And they Syndicate made that look better. You'd have two guys attack at the same time, but you could still just hit Y and you'd do an execution
And
on two
kill
guys.
them both. Yeah.
It looked fucking cool. Like, they got to the point where you were so passive is the word I have. You were so like not involved in this that it was almost QTE.
You would do it and then you kind of watch.
It was almost QTE. It was like a slightly more interactive version of QTE. And so I understand the insult in that. But for me, that's what they were trying to do, and they did it well. So I didn't really hold that against it. But now, combat is so much more nerve-wracking and intense, and you are involved. You are in charge of every action.
Yeah.
And it plays a little bit like Witcher or Dark Souls or Bloodborne. Maybe it's more accurate. It's all about dodging, blocking, and you can counter. You can get you have the whole RPG system now, and there's a skill point early on in the warrior section that lets you counter. And the counter is not an auto kill anymore, though. It just allows you to, when they attack, if you time it right, you bounce back, and they lose their defense for a
Dark
second,
Souls,
and then you
something
hit them.
like that.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can move in and hit them. They didn't totally change. There are still sweet executions. If you hit them with a heavy attack and it kills them, it does an execution move every time. They're still badass.
Yeah.
So that's not gone, but it's way more. It wants you to control everything, and there are times, man, I'll be in the middle of it reminds me, do you remember that scene in Kingdom of Heaven where he's just lying out there, like, trying to think, and those Teutonic knights come to assassinate him, and he yells at them, "Is this all you came to the hall?"
Yeah.
And he fights them, like, with his bare fists and, like, with rocks and their own weapons and shit, and, like, just, it's, like, scrappy, and they're just doing what they can to fucking survive, and he kills them with, like, a fucking shiv, it's like that. It's, like, desperate, scrappy, rolling, going for like at the end of a tough fight against evenly matched opponents, 3 or 4 of them, you're dodging, you're getting hit in the back, and you're getting pushed around, and they're all dead, and you're like, your health is down to almost nothing, and the screen's all red,
like
and you kill all of them.
Like a Last of Us kind of combat
you're just like,
situation.
Whoo! All right, I survived that. And like, that's not something I've ever felt in an Assassin's Creed game, because it's never been that hard.
Yeah.
So that's a huge difference, man. I really appreciate it. I didn't know I wanted it until I had it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, for me, I was like, this is just Assassin's Creed. It's just easy.
Wow.
Now it's not. So it's great, man. It's got some problems. It's got some serious problems in the sense of some of those technical issues, and some of the voice acting is pretty abhorrent at times. Like really, you'll just know. Like,
Zelote.
That one can't act.
Yeah. Yeah.
And apparently they're a character.
Yeah.
So shit like that, which is too bad. But way improved.
Really?
Way improved so far. Yeah. Probably, like I said, this is the time to jump back on if you got tired of them.
Dude,
Absolutely.
That last sentence really excites me because I do really want to try this game out. Not to harp on it too long because I have no experience with the game. But when I came in, I watched you play it for like 15 minutes, maybe.
We're definitely going over an hour.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Maybe 10 minutes. And all I noticed was that if you couldn't see the game aesthetically, just kind of the framework of it, you would never know it was an Assassin's Creed game.
Right.
Because what I saw you do in 10 minutes was nothing you've ever seen in an Assassin's Creed game.
Stealth is improved.
I watched you look at your different tiers of ranked weaponry. I watched you...
there's that whole thing too.
Level up. I watched you gain experience from killing people. I watched you shoot a bow with kind of finesse rather than locking on and like hoping...
Like this weird sort of... No, it's a legit... It's like Skyrim, first person.
Yeah.
And one of there's different kinds of bows.
Different kinds of bows, yeah, exactly. And all that. And then, the horseback riding and stuff like that is going to carry over. But yeah, it just seemed very different.
Yeah, even the horseback riding taken right out of Witcher.
Yeah, it looked really similar. You can whistle and then
whistle, and you can put your when you have your cursor marked on a location. If you hold A, it creates its own route, and you can just put the controller down and it just rides.
That's the way to go.
Which I love doing that.
That's the way to go.
You feel like some people who maybe don't play as many games, or if they, I don't know, feel like they might think like that's weird. Why are you playing it? Why wouldn't you want to control it? I'm like, that's because this fucking country's so damn big.
It's huge.
It takes me 35 minutes to ride from one side to the other.
Right, yeah.
So I'm going to put it down and go grab a Pepsi while I ride across the beautiful
the desert
coastline of northern Egypt. I mean, the world is on goddamn point. And the music is beautiful, too. It's all that Eastern style. Oh, God. I love music like that, dude. I'm
glad to hear you like it, man.
That. Yeah, I do. I mean, I have no idea what I'm going to score it yet. I need to see the rest of the story. I don't know if I'm going to put it in the 9s already, just because of the fucking... Some of the problems are pretty bad. They're not bad like they ruin the experience. They're just really obvious. Mm-hmm. Like, really obvious. They're like just a beautiful woman with a cleft lip or something. Like, whoa! Okay!
It kind of just jumps out and hits you in the face.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking, is like maybe we could come back... next week I'm sure you'll have more time.
Oh yeah. Obviously, I won't be quite as long-winded about it every week from here on out. But yeah, I'd be happy to give you guys updates.
Cool.
And I will do a review as soon as I'm done with it.
Right.
I fucking promise. I will do the review as soon as I'm done.
By 2019, you'll have a review.
Did you see my? I did Lost Legacy.
Yeah. No, dude, they're all coming together really well. It seems like you've kind of hit a groove since version 2 of Mass Effect.
I could do Destiny 2, but I don't feel like I'm good enough at that game to review it.
But what do you... Okay, there's a whole argument there not to have between
it's a weird game to review.
But it's not like I beat it, now I'm done game. You know what I mean?
No,
it's hard to review because what are you reviewing? You know what I mean?
I'm like, where do you stop?
Yeah, there's no ending.
What you were judging.
Exactly, yeah.
And do you have to play the raid to review the game?
That's what I was just going to say.
I don't think so, personally. But
I was going to say maybe just to have more information, more ammunition coming in. You know what I mean? But you don't have to.
So I don't know if I want to review that game or not.
I don't think we have the multiplayer prowess to even
but it's
touch on.
kind
of
a combination. And I play for multiplayer games, I play a shit ton of Crucible, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. Do
what you think is best.
I don't know if I'll do a review for Destiny. I don't think I'll do that. And that's the only other game I've really... There's Warhammer 2, but honestly, dude, I just don't... I'm just not giving it the time that it deserves. Mm-hmm. And if I do a review on that would come in like next year, probably.
Gotcha.
So maybe I'll do a late review for it, but I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah.
It's too... Because you can play through a campaign in 30 hours or whatever, but there's 4 factions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's multiplayer, and I don't really play the multiplayer, and you know what I mean? It's just kind of another one that's just... I'm not really like a strategy gamer either. I'm a total war gamer.
Yeah, exactly.
So like me trying to tell other people who are into strategy how it compares, I don't know. I don't really like RTSs for the most part. Honestly, yeah. I haven't played one. The next one I'm going to play is going to be Age of Empires 4 or whatever, because I am so pumped for that. But I don't really have the ranking.
No, I agree. That's kind of how I
just played Total War my whole life.
That's kind of how I felt about Destiny. But yeah, you make a good point.
Cool, man. Well, we're already 45 minutes into this sucker.
Jesus Christ.
And we have a lot to go.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Dude, I'm
I mean,
down.
A lot of this isn't going to take a long time.
Remember, last week we had a 40-minute episode.
That's true, yeah. We got some.
And my dogs are barking because I believe Alyssa's home.
We got some ground to make.
What's going on there? Let's do it.
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it. So, Paris Games Week, overall impressions. What do you think?
It's hard.
Is that too big of a question?
No, no, it's not. And I'll be able to explain a little bit further. But the best way I can say it is it took me precisely 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 8 seconds to actually really be interested.
Oh, because of their fucking
up until
2
then,
hours
it was
of
all
VR drivel.
It was all VR and indie games, but 90% VR. But I don't, I'm trying to stay positive, Ian. I'm trying to be the podcast of positivity here. And it's only because VR isn't something I'm interested in. So to me, it was dribble. I'm right there with you.
I don't think they've even sold 1 million units.
I wanted to kill myself for the first hour, 14 minutes, and 8 seconds.
Think about it. An hour and 14 minutes of your time spent on a piece of hardware that you have sold like 900,000 units of.
Right. Well, they're
what percentage of your population is that?
They're just trying to cram it out there.
I know. They have to.
They're like, take it.
And if I'm one of those 900,000, I'm like, hey, I spent a bunch of money on this. Where are the games?
That's what I'm saying. They really did those people a service at the beginning of this conference, if you will. But I mean, after that, it gets pretty off the rails. I wrote, I may have missed one or two, but I wrote everything down in order. We can just run over them real quick, just for the sake of having it in there. We'll, of course, start with the VR, because that was 90% of the conference.
I didn't watch any of the VR stuff.
Really?
Nope.
Interesting. I considered skipping over it, and I was like, Ian will never let me hear the end of it if I skip this shit.
I'm like, I don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah. I figured for the one person out there in our audience who might
have
a
of course. I'm not saying you shouldn't be talking about it.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to know.
I agree with you.
I don't know what happened.
We feel the same. But
I was just like, forward!
Hey, let me tell you, I watched it 2 hours ago. I still don't know what happened. But
I'm like, hey, man, I'm not getting paid to be here.
Exactly. I'm not getting paid for this shit.
Like, hey, look, if you want to give me a job, I will gladly fucking sit down and watch all this.
I feel
That's my damn job. But I'm like, I want to know what actually happened at this conference.
I wanted to at least rattle the names off. You can give me some quick 2-second impressions of each one of these games. Of course. So to open it up, they open up with Moss on PlayStation VR.
Cute as fuck.
Cute little mouse game.
It pisses me off that that's VR.
Yeah.
I just want it as a platform.
Yeah, and
I would play the shit out of that. I want that little dude.
I didn't know
I want to hug him. I want to kiss him. I want to put him to bed at night.
I didn't, like your own little Dexter. I didn't know it was only VR until this conference. I was like, well, that sucks. I had heard about that game before. Star Child. It's like a weird VR, another platforming game.
Oh, I do remember
kind
seeing
of a retro,
about that in E3.
weird-looking game.
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck.
Resident Evil Biohazard, the DLC called Not a Hero.
Yes. That's coming out for both, I think, right? Or is that a VR only?
I mean, it was in the VR portion. I don't know if it was both.
I know that there's free DLC coming for Resident Evil that lets you play as Redfield.
Okay. Yeah, because that's who it was.
Okay.
Although it didn't look anything like him, which is a complaint I'm hearing from a lot of people. But yeah, it must be for both. But all the footage they showed, of course, was
because he showed up at the very end of that game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never played it, but all the footage they showed was from a VR unit. You can tell because the gun is like doing this shit, like just from the center of him.
It goes black for a second.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. But after that, and you're gonna love this one. It's right up your alley. It had Ian written all over it. Ready? It's a game called Dead Hungry. It takes place, very compelling story, full of great characters. Takes place in a booth at a carnival where you are making burgers and feeding them to zombies, entirely in VR. Give me your...
Well, first of all, because I had a conversation a while back with someone...
About this game?
No, just about how, I was not liking a certain game. They're like, well, you can't expect every game to have a big story and characters. And it was a franchise that I was well aware didn't have.
Right.
I don't require that.
Right. No, I wasn't...
the game...
Ian, I was setting you up.
I don't even play
setting you up
like fucking like Little Big Planet and be like, where is the narrative here? I'm not like that.
I was...
But that probably is shitty and gimmicky and it sounds like a mobile game.
I was setting you up for that.
I'm just sensing a theme here that I wanted to squash, all right?
There is it looks very compelling. If you're familiar with Taco Master, it's very similar to that. You're building food and literally I'm sure it's like an overcooked thing. You have a type of burger you need to feed to the zombie. Although overcooked, you're feeding...
That makes me miss Kind of Funny.
Yeah.
Taco Master.
Taco
I
Master.
don't really listen to them anymore.
No, I do still. That's
and
why I came ahead.
he always
in
used
my
to
head.
talk to Colin about it as if Colin was really into it. Colin's like, I don't want to ever
Doesn't
hear you
give a
talk about it
fuck.
again. And he'd open every episode
He
with
talks about
Taco
how it's like
Master.
an easy platinum and stuff. I love it. But yeah, so that was that. I don't understand where the audience for that game lies, but I'm sure it's out there. After that was a Final Fantasy fishing based game. Which
oh my god, I've seen that one. Fuck
I
that
think
game.
may
dude.
have been the least well received
Join
part
the
of Final
lead
Fantasy.
singer of Under Oath.
Yeah.
Wow, fishing.
The least well received part of Final Fantasy jammed into a VR game.
Yep.
But that's only my opinion. There's probably people who are gonna love it. Something called Invector, which the note I put down was that it's similar to Amplitude in that there's music and you're kind of doing a thing and you're hitting notes to kind of like a Guitar Hero type. You know, can you kind of picture what I'm saying? Very techno, very Amplitude like.
Yeah, I've seen that game. It's on regular console.
Okay, yeah, I'm just giving you everything from that VR portion. They kind of mixed VR and indie games.
Sure.
So that's what we're doing here, but. Okay, this may or may not be a VR game. It's called O-Ray, but it's spelled O-U-R-E.
Yeah, it's getting terrible reviews.
It's pronounced O-Ray, but
it's got like a 50 on Metacritic.
Yeah. After that, Spelunky 2, not in VR, just a PS4 game.
Yep.
Which I'm sure people are excited about.
Yeah, everyone I know who's ever played that loved it.
58 minutes in is when they actually opened.
I thought that was the name of the game.
Nope.
58 minutes in.
That's it. It's only 58 minutes. No, 58 minutes into the conference, they finally showed like a cool intro trailer, which is when they were going to start introducing the third-party games. They opened that up with Ghost of Tsushima by Sucker Punch, which I know you're excited about. If you want to dive on into that.
Shit!
Yep.
I'm so
Ian
fucking
is
pumped for that
jerking
game.
off in studio
I am
right now.
so goddamn biggest announcement by far for me.
Yeah?
Oh my
Really?
god.
What?
I've been wondering what the fuck Sucker Punch has been doing for this
Oh, that's why. Okay.
forever.
I was like, what about this game
Well,
is grabbing you?
Oh well, plus,
personally?
dude. I mean, as a biggest history nerd,
Yeah.
games just don't take place in feudal Japan unless they're fantasy or they're anime. That's it. And usually when they're anime or fantasy, they're over the top and they're not really about what their subject matter is using, which is samurai and feudal Japan. It's an amazing setting. It's an open world action RPG stealth game that takes place in real history, 1274, one of the most pivotal years in all of Japanese history ever. And oh god, it's just right up my. It's just like when the first Assassin's Creed got announced. I'm like, it takes place in the Crusades, and you're like an assassin, and you're killing Templars.
You're
I'm
like an
oh my god, like this is so cool.
Yeah.
And just this idea. I loved the trailer with Kublai Khan was the voice. That was the voice of Kublai Khan talking to this samurai that he had captured, and saying that he had spent all that time while you were sharpening your sword. I spent this time learning about you. Oh my god, dude! I cannot wait for more details with that. I think it's gonna be a really awesome game. It's the exact kind of game I want on PlayStation.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it going in other than when you had texted me, I did a quick Google search on it.
Are you familiar with Sucker Punch?
Just to know, not
They made all the Infamous games?
I never played Infamous.
But you know what
I know about them.
You know that they have pedigree.
Exactly.
They're well received. They're critically acclaimed. They sold a lot of copies. They were fun to play. Like for me, just like the knowledge that this big Sony studio has been working on this the whole time. It's something unique. It's risky. It's historical. It's I love open world third person stealth action RPG. Those are all the words I want. Just put them on my fucking tombstone.
Right.
And I'm happy.
Ian Williams, open world action RPG.
Stealth action RPG. Like that's what I want. That's what I want in my life. And just it looked beautiful. I know that was CGI, but that's their aim, their tone. I can tell what their tone is, and it felt grounded. It felt real. It felt like they're going to tell a story. They felt like they want to talk about Japan and its culture and hopefully avoid dragons flying out of the ocean and all this shit, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get power to 9,000. I want a real historical game where I'm playing as this rogue samurai who's been defeated and is going around just fucking up the Mongols' plans. I just love the idea. The island of Tsushima is a little island between Korea and Japan. And it was the first target that they once they conquered Korea, they wanted Japan, and they warned them. They said, "You should belong to us. small kingdoms need a big one. We'll be your big one. And Japan's like, fuck you. And they invaded. Tsushima was the first one they hit, and they burned it to the fucking ground.
Jesus.
So it's just got all this drama. It's gonna I probably my most anticipated game for next year now.
Dude,
if it comes out next year.
Your hype has me hyped. Oh. I'm glad you're excited for it. After that, they jumped into Concrete Genie.
I didn't see that one.
Again, didn't know anything about it. It was very quick.
If you can't tell, I just went through and picked all the stuff I was interested in.
Yeah, it came out right after Ghost of Tsushima. They introduced Concrete Genie, which is they didn't show a lot of gameplay from what I saw. It was just kind of another weird kind of retro platformer looking thingy. But I don't know. You can do more research on it. They introduced their play link, which maybe you can dive into more. I don't know anything about.
So
I literally put play link question
here's the gist I have of play link right now. So there was this one where it was like a murder mystery, right? Sort of like what's that game with the kids in the cabin getting killed off in the 80s style horror?
Until Dawn?
Yes, thank you. So it's sort of like Until Dawn, but you can sit down. Everyone sits down on a couch locally. All of us, you, me, Alyssa, Doug, and Kevin. Let's say we all sit down, and I think you can use your phones if I'm correct. Mm-hmm. And you have a part. Did you ever play Clue?
Yeah.
You have a part to play in this interactive story that kind of looks like Until Dawn, and you can choose. You're deciding actions for a character on screen. And you can choose to like lie or evade or run or kill or whatever. Okay. And like everyone is impacting this story. It's like if you could give everyone a controller in Until Dawn.
Okay.
Like, you get this person, you get that person, you get that person, you get that person.
And there's kind of a butterfly. They still do the butterfly effect thing.
Which I don't know if it's going to have the butterfly thing. Yeah. I mean, it's not made by the same people.
Right.
I'm just saying that it's that style of sort of like reactive story game.
That makes sense now.
And it's multiplayer, in a new way. It might turn out to be gimmick, but if they pull it off, very intrigued by it.
Well, what they led into after that is a game called Erica.
Yes.
Which I don't know if you've seen anything on. I believe was
live action.
I believe was utilizing PlayLink.
It was, yeah.
But yeah, it's all live action.
I don't know how to feel about it.
Super interesting. It's different, which is cool. We don't have impressions going in, but
Sony, man, just experimenting.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
They're trying to stay ahead of the game, which I think they're doing. To be honest with you,
they're ahead of everybody else in that sense.
Absolutely. I feel like everyone's kind of trying to we want to do it too.
I mean, Nintendo's like, look, we're just going to make Mario that gets 97 on Metacritic.
Are the guys
we're just going to make Zelda that gets 98 on Metacritic.
Mushrooms in the forest. Just doing their own goddamn thing.
But everyone loves to go to that forest.
Everyone loves to do mushrooms with Nintendo.
I want to do mushrooms.
I want to do mushrooms too.
I'm converting.
Let's do them right now. I'm not converting.
Goddamn wrong about Mario.
Of the
I was so
converting.
I was so wrong about Mario.
Have you played it?
I played it a little bit for not very long, for half an hour at a GameStop, and I was having a goddamn blast.
Really?
And it's gotten a goddamn 97 on Metacritic.
I guess
and I feel ashamed and stupid, and I apologize to all fans of Mario. I was just very upset with that demo that they had. I thought looked like shit. I really did, and I was dead wrong.
I guess people are enjoying it. So we're going to jump ahead to 1 hour and 14 seconds in, when the trailers we care about started, aside from Ghost of Tsushima. They opened up with Far Cry 5, the co-op trailer, which I thought was freaking awesome.
It was very good.
Fun. Even if you're not a Far Cry fan, it's
I'm not.
Very fun and very kind of, high... What's the word? Not high energy, but like very light attitude. You know what I mean? Not too dark. Remember when they introduced Far Cry 5 and it was very religious and very weird? There was a scream and then a gunshot.
That's kind of what got me into it.
Yeah, I agree with you. But then when you throw a co-op in there, you want to make sure people are having fun.
Right, absolutely.
And they opened up with that song, I Can't See Me.
Yeah.
And it's just you and another guy kind of flying a plane, just like blowing shit up and attacking people. It looked like fun. I had a lot of fun in Far Cry.
You gonna pick that up?
Eventually. Not soon.
That's not a day one.
Unless my brother gets it, someone I'm going to play co-op with.
Sure.
Because him and I played through 4 together co-op, which was a lot of fun.
Very fun, yeah.
So yeah, that looked okay. I think the way they did the trailer more than anything was really cool.
Right.
It was nice and lighthearted. After that, Destiny 2: Curse of Osiris DLC, which
so when they get more details on that, I told Doug I'd like to have him on. He is like the Destiny guy right now, so we'll gladly have him on to have more details with that. But I love it. New planet to go explore. A whole new storyline that I find pretty interesting. Like one of the original, fucking whatever they call it, warlocks. One of the original warlocks, or the original
Guardians.
warlock, and he's like a Yeah, well, Warlock is the class.
Right, but isn't he like the first?
He's like the first Warlock, is what I'm saying.
Right,
he's like the first, yeah, he's one of the founding, apparently committed some crime. I'm very interested in the story, which is, again, a positive step.
Mm.
I'm intrigued by the storyline. We'll see how well they deliver a storyline. There's like a new faction of a race. Like it's not a new race. The Vex are the enemy, but it looks like there's like, it's like a new version of them. Or
they
whatever,
mentioned
so
like
hopefully it'll
enemies,
change up gameplay.
They said something like enemies of the old and new.
Yeah.
So like I don't know if they're going back or forward.
Yeah. Well, that's because the Vex are fucking like interdimensional time traveling machines or whatever.
They're
so
the Geth of Destiny. Yeah.
Well, Geth are not really.
Okay, whatever.
It
Not
really work.
After that, you have the new Monster Hunter game plus a Horizon kind of expansion for PlayStation 4 players.
I'm like, yeah, okay.
I mean, whatever. Who cares? That
game to me looked okay. I'll give it. It looked better than it did in that horrible E3 trailer, where it looked like the game was like 10 years old and was barely functioning. It did look better, but I don't know if I'm going to play it or not.
Okay.
I'll give anything a shot. Like I'm open minded. I don't know. I don't know about it.
Personally, I've never been a huge fan of the Monster Hunter series, but they always had, to me, their appeal was that you could play most of them on like a mobile gaming device, and that's no longer really prevalent. And I feel like they're not going to stack up to the current games that do what they do. But
I mean, I feel like Horizon was heavily influenced by the series.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So I'm wondering how well it's going to be. I mean, if it comes out and it gets a 90, I'll try it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally. Me too. After that, Call of Duty World War II plus the Character bonus pack.
Don't give a fuck! Yeah. But I did watch it.
Hey, at least you watched it. That's more than you can say for Dead Food or Dead Burger or whatever it was called. Dead Hungry.
Yeah, I just, Call of Duty, man, I don't know what it was. Like, I was kind of pumped for a moment. Mm-hmm. And then I saw some gameplay. I was like, it just looks like Call of Duty. I just don't like... I'm weird. I don't like the way they play.
For whatever weird reason.
I don't like the way they feel.
It just doesn't look... I wanted more Big Red 1.
It doesn't look gritty.
And less Advanced Warfare 2. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, for whatever reason, I think it's just because of the speed of the game.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the speed. There's just something intrinsic about Call of Duty now.
You can feel
and it's not just I hate Call of Duty and Activision, which I'm not a fan of Activision, but there's something about the way that those games, the input from my fingers to the controller to the screen, that just doesn't feel good to me, and I just don't like them. I just don't like Call of Duty anymore. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've heard the campaign is incredibly mediocre, which is the only thing I wanted it for anyways.
Yeah.
So the reviews are not loving the campaign, and I was like, well, there we go. I mean, that's
kind of the only...
If they had said the campaign was great, I would have rented it or figured out a way to play it. So.
Mm-hmm. After that, we had Onrush, which is kind of a battle racing game, similar to, I'm sure, pick one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't even think of the name right now, but, God, what is the game where... You're just cars, and you just literally kill each other the entire time.
Oh, Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal, thank you. Kind of the vein of that-ish,
sure.
if you had to pick an example.
Not really my cup of tea, but it looked good, right?
Yeah. After that, they talked about Star Wars Battlefront 2. Did you...
Well, the game is beautiful, and it plays great. It's a really, really well-made game. Mm-hmm. Not going to buy it.
Not going to buy it. Well, and if you want more information on that, go back to last week's
episode. I have some
episode.
Information about Battlefront.
Oh, you want to wait or touch on that?
We're already in this is going to be a long podcast. Yeah. I'm just, at this point, man, I hope you don't have to leave.
I have to leave eventually.
But yeah, we got to play Dead Space.
We can definitely play a little bit of Dead Space.
Don't be an old man, man. Just chill.
I am an old man.
Just
I have
fucking chill with
people to feed, damn it.
They're adults.
I know. Well, one of them is.
Well, then the adult can take care of it.
Well, I have a monitor to pick up, too, man.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Where are you going for that again?
I mean, Jeffrey, he's in bed by like 8. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah, so I just wanted to, just really quickly, let me see. Sorry, I just got a call.
No worries.
I was looking up. I have, I took a picture of the article because I didn't know if I'd be able to find it or not, honestly. They came out with some explanations for they made some changes because literally everyone went, your game is pay to win.
Yeah.
And they're changing a few things. To help keep everyone on a level playing field, the star cards, epic star cards, will primarily be available through crafting, with the exception of special epic star cards available through pre-order, deluxe, and starter packs. So in other words, They're barring off certain things from loot crates now that give the biggest advantages in the game.
Okay.
Doesn't really change it because they said they're still available for crafting, and you can get crafting parts in loot boxes, so you can still purchase loot crates and still get crafting parts.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how
I
I feel.
Change anything.
You'll need to reach a certain rank to craft upgraded star cards. You won't be able to buy a bunch of crates, grind everything up into crafting materials, and immediately use the item to get super powerful cards. You can only upgrade abilities to craft higher tier star cards by ranking up through playing the game only. So that's changed.
Okay.
While a select few will be found in crates, the rest of the rest of the weapons can only be attained by play. If you want to unlock a new weapon for your heavy, play as a heavy, and you'll gain access to the class's new weapons. So you can't purchase like weapons or anything like that. Class-specific gear and items can be unlocked by playing. As you progress through your favorite class, you'll hit milestones granting you class-specific crates. These will include a mix of star cards and crafting parts to benefit your class's development. So they've toned it down to their credit, but I'm not changing my mind. I still think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
And I am not going to take a part of that.
So it's not quite the change you wanted, but it's a step in the right direction, which we can appreciate.
It's more of a, like, fine, you caught us this time. You know?
Yeah.
That's a little more, yeah.
If it wasn't for you meddling kids.
We almost had it. Yeah, exactly.
After Star Wars, we jumped into number 2 on my list that I'm most excited for. It's Spider-Man. The folks over at Insomniac Games.
Yeah.
Which I wanted to
Great trailer.
Yeah, awesome trailer. I've been really excited about this game for a long time. One thing, back when we watched the original trailer for it, like for the E3 or whatever.
Right.
One kind of, and not even complaint, because it was really at my own fault. I had no idea who the villain was.
Yeah.
So
I told you he's from the comics.
I know you told me who he was, but in the trailer, I had no idea who he was.
Yeah, you're right. But this is not good that they're not using a legit
that's definitely
villain.
not what I sound like.
And
but,
I was like,
first of all,
totally is legit.
The argument was
comics.
that, from the comics, that villain is not known by the casual fans at all.
Right.
Which I still stand by. But in this trailer, they introduced that there is Shocker and Kingpin and all these people that everyone knows.
Right. Good point.
Which cleared that part up for me. But I was never not excited about the game because of that.
Sure.
I was just hoping it didn't focus on that one guy, which it looks like it's not going to. So that was cool. Anyway.
Yeah, it looked. I can't wait. I don't need to see anymore.
Cool.
I'm just so ready for that game.
After that was Detroit Become Human, which I am never cared at all about before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, before watching this video, because I hate vagueness.
Did you like Heavy Rain?
I never played Heavy Rain, and so when everyone's comparing it to Heavy Rain, I'm like, I don't know what any of you are talking about. But in the last trailer was really vague, and I didn't know what it meant and what the symbolism there was and what it was supposed to mean to me. But this new trailer kind of explains a lot more, and I think my eyes have been kind of opened more after watching movies like Blade Runner and things like that into that kind of genre. But yeah, the trailer was done really well, really dark, really deep, really kind of not at home. I don't want to say at home. I was never beat by my father, but like really kind of deep into the hearts of probably a lot of people watching and right out of the gate. So that was a bold move by them.
And it shows off the gameplay in the sense of all the different ways, something real choice having real effects, not the pulling the strings and to go one path to get to the same.
You're always going to be right here.
Yeah. No, it's true power of choice.
Yeah, it showed kind of a montage of her doing
Heavy
all
Rain
the
was
different
similar.
things. Was
Heavy
really
Rain
cool.
had like 35 endings or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah,
So
I'm
it's
sure
just
this is right up the alley. Hold on the page here. Sorry. After that was God of War, which
like a minute and a half.
A minute and a half of God of War. You got to hear him.
Combat looks awesome.
Tell his son to shut up. And
Yeah,
then, he's like, shut the fuck up. And then they showed that it'll be released early 2018,
which they've already said,
but was somehow a shocker to a lot of people. But
they said early in 2018 in E3 too.
I mean, people are people, man.
Pay attention, guys.
People are overly optimistic sometimes. Any other thoughts on God of War?
No, not at all. And that will come into my final kind of overall thoughts on this.
Okay, cool. After that, we had Horizon Zero Dawn: The Frozen Wilds DLC, which looked incredible, like always.
I can't wait.
What'd you think of the ending where...
It's out now, isn't it?
Is it out now?
I think it's... I don't know. I had to look it up. It's out very soon or out now. I'm not going to get it when it first comes out. Too much going on.
Yeah.
But I absolutely will play that.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
If I ever beat the main game, I would love to go in and play it, too. What'd you think of the ending where whoever's playing it jumps on one of them and jumps off and hits the flying one? I was like, way to go, whoever that was.
Well, that's some fucking program. That's some designer or gameplay designer or programmer or something that knows how to play the damn game.
What a badass. But,
beautiful. It's just such a pretty game, and I like Aloy so much.
Oh,
I just can't wait.
Do you see her armor and everything?
I just
really
can't.
kind of accustomed to like the
and
snow
I'm like
and the
such
winter.
a slut for snowy games.
Yeah.
I just something about snow levels, and like I'm elated to play that. I can't wait.
Absolutely. After that, which I'm sure we may have differing opinions on, they showed Shadow of the Colossus. Did that mean anything to you?
Yeah, I mean, there are people who are head over heels because it's an older. Basically, I'm trying to put myself in their shoes if they remade Knights of the Old Republic.
Right. Yeah.
That's very much what it's like.
Okay.
It looks
That's fair.
beautiful.
No, it looks really good.
I'll definitely try it out. Absolutely.
Cool.
How do you feel
I'm glad
about
you're
that?
excited about it.
I didn't say I was excited because I don't have that emotion.
Excuse me for misquoting
I'm just saying.
Ian.
I'm not like, I can't wait.
The people heard what you said.
I will look forward. I'm looking forward to whatever.
Absolutely.
It's not like I don't have that emotional connection.
Yeah.
But it was very pretty and it's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess our opinions are more...
I'm not going to buy it on day one.
Yeah. I guess our opinions are more similar than I would have figured. I have no emotional connection to the game.
Right.
So to me, it was kind of another vague trailer. But
the trailer was kind of slow. I'm like, what are you doing here? But again, I think it was more for the old fans.
Even, I guess, like, battling a flying dragon, it felt slow in a weird way. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, I mean,
kind of
because
like
you're so small. Yeah, you're really small.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out a way to like climb these guys, and they're trying to get you in. It's different. It's even all these years later, there's nothing that's come out that's been like it.
Yep.
So I just appreciate its uniqueness, and I appreciate Sony celebrating its past.
Yeah,
and
totally.
I will play it at some point, or maybe go to Kevin's. I know he'll get it. Maybe go to Kevin's and try it at his place. Just try it out. I want to see how it plays.
Yeah. I'm excited for the people who are excited.
There you go.
After that was my number one pick, of course, Last of Us 2, another trailer for that.
Trailer's all right.
I mean, the trailer was great if I knew who anyone was. That was kind of my thing, but the trailer to me was important because not that it really explained anything, but it showed that they're not holding anything back, which I appreciated.
Sure.
Not that they did really in the first one, but I felt like even in that couple of minutes, I mean, it's comparable, if not more dark than some of the sequences from the first game. I mean, they held the lady's arm down and started hammering it so she couldn't do anything. And what, you're shaking your head?
Yeah, it was fine. I just you see that and you watch it, and it was good. I mean, I was into it when I was watching. I was like, oh wow, this is crazy. But like, okay, it's Last of Us Part 2. I didn't come out of that thinking or knowing anything else about Last of Us 2, so why show me?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know that their intention was to like teach us anything about the game that's coming out. I mean, maybe those are characters obviously that are going to be important at one point.
There's like a theory that that's Mom.
Oh, really?
The one getting hung.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, I tried not to dive.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just like, I don't like. What do you want me to do with it? I felt like someone just sort of handed me like a pottery plate at a cafeteria, and I'm like,
totally. That's definitely a
cool.
It's totally
this is pretty.
Totally a fair point, and I see what you mean by that. I mean, I didn't go into it trying to like hope to get more.
Sure.
I definitely would have liked to see Ellie. I'm like, who firing the arrows?
Don't
it must
think
be Ellie,
they need to. It's Last. Just
right.
It's the shit's not going to come out for
years. Yeah. And exactly.
But I'm sounding negative. It was awesome. I mean, it was very intriguing. I think it's like a religious cult thing going on, and it's like I enjoyed watching it. I don't know. It was indicative of the whole conference.
Yeah, again, and I agree with the fact that I don't want to see a trailer for a game I'm not going to get for 3 or 4 years. Which I would have rather not seen anything. But what I did see, and again, from what I took from it, was
intrigued you.
It let me know that they're not holding back, which I appreciate. That's all I want.
Me too.
In a world that's so
I get
PC
that.
and so annoying and so like we're not trying to trigger anybody.
Right.
They didn't do anything like that, which I appreciated. That's
Absolutely.
all I took from it.
I totally agree with that. Some people were all upset because it was like uber violent and all that. I'm like, well, have you played Last of Us?
Don't play the game.
Yeah.
Play the first one. It's uber violent. Like,
they're all uber violent.
You
I didn't have
men to death.
I don't have a problem with violence. I'm just like, I just don't know what the hell it is, and I don't know why I should care about it.
Yeah,
Other than the fact that it said Last of Us at the very end.
Right.
That could have been literally any game. There was nothing about that was Last of Us until you see the fucking clickers at the last 1/10 of a second.
Right.
Oh, it's Last of Us. So it could have easily been that other game.
Definitely.
What's that other one that we kind of...
Days Gone?
Yeah.
You mean Last of Us 0.5?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they would have gone...
Which we
Days Gone. I was like, oh, okay.
Which we didn't see anything on, which intrigued me, but...
I feel like the game's in trouble.
Oh, hell yeah. Are you kidding me? After that super rocky first introduction to it.
Yeah, I felt like the whole conference, everything I saw, it was like, yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
With the exception of Ghost of Tsushima, which I was blown away by. But other than that, like, we've already... none of this is new. Nothing you gave us is new. We don't know anything that we didn't know an hour before watching it.
I completely agree with you. Yeah.
Why did you show me any of this?
Afterward, I was watching it at work and taking notes, and Jeff came up to me afterward because we worked together. And he's like, okay, what should I be excited about? Just give me kind of a recap. And I was like, there's literally nothing you don't already know.
Ghost of Tsushima is a big deal. He would be into that shit.
I said, except for Ghost of Tsushima, and you should go watch the Last of Us 2 trailer, because I know he, like me, was really into Last of Us. So
cool.
You should go watch it. But
I didn't know he was into that or not.
I think he told me he was.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, again, it sounds negative. I wasn't sitting there like, this is bullshit! I was enjoying myself watching trailers for these games I'm excited for. But I literally just saw all this at E3. You didn't give me any new information. Okay, great. God of War looks awesome. I don't need to see God of War ever again.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy that game the day it comes out. I'm already sold. You know?
Yep.
It's like, hey, you want this new car? Yeah, I just actually bought it. You want this new car?
No,
I got it.
I already told you.
Car?
Yeah, no, I'll take it in red. I told you already.
I'm getting all of these games.
I traded my car in. We're doing this.
I'm getting all of these games. You don't have to keep showing them to me.
You're right.
But some people, I mean, I get it. They need to remind people that people aren't as connected as we are. Totally. I get that totally. So I don't hold it against them. I just feel like Sony needs to take a breather or start showing us some other stuff or something.
I think you're right about talking about a lot of people aren't as connected as we are, but I feel like the people who aren't connected weren't watching that conference.
Yeah, they have PSX in like a few months or whatever.
What are we going to see there?
God of War,
Days
Axe,
Gone,
headbutting. Like, I've seen this. Like and early 2018. I know that.
Yeah.
So, but it was cool. I mean, I'm excited for all those games. Sony has got the fucking lineup.
They're killing it, man.
For next year is Sony's year. My PS4 like barely even been turned on this year except for Horizon.
It's gonna switch.
Oh yeah. With all these games coming out, I'm gonna be on my PS4 Pro like a motherfucker.
Nice, man.
So, dude, did we reach the end?
I think we did. I mean, you kind of had you like.
Well, I mean,
made it seem like you had a lot to touch on.
No, that was what I wanted to say about the conference. I don't know. Okay. I felt similar.
Yeah, we felt basically exactly the same about the conference. I felt like I didn't take away a lot of information. I was expecting to come with more interesting notes, but I felt like everything that I had was anything you didn't know was like, oh, all these games in VR.
Games that I just skipped on.
You don't want to play Dead Burger?
See, I'm not a real gamer, man. I didn't watch all the stuff.
You didn't play Dead Burger, bro. You're not a real gamer.
Yeah, I don't plan on playing it either.
You have to play everything, Ian.
Give me your real brief first impressions of Dead Space since you played it when you were in high school.
Oh yeah, have we recorded anything since then? Okay, cool. I jumped in to Dead Space last Friday when I was over at Ian's here at Ian's. I got to play like an hour-ish of it. Maybe an hour and a half. One of the most intense games I've ever played, even in even in a decently lit room full of people.
It was still kind of daytime.
It was still kind of daytime, and I was still, like, my palms are sweaty, like, 20 minutes in. I jumped into hard mode, which was not a smart thing to do, because afterward, Doug informed me that it's kind of like you're supposed to beat the game and come back with your equipment.
I don't know about that. I mean, yes, there is a new game plus, but they're not going to put a difficulty in there that's accessible to you for the first time you play the game and not have that work. Mm-hmm. I played it on hard without a new game plus before.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing fairly well.
Punishing.
Yeah, I'm doing fairly well so far. It's really, really intense.
Yeah.
The game looks great, which is crazy. It's
gorgeous.
You know how I feel about playing older games to my chagrin. But no, it looks fantastic. It holds up really well. Plays really well. No, it feels good. It's a lot of fun. I knew little things about it going in, like you have to shoot their limbs and things like that, which
helped
me, or I would have been fucked.
They tell you like 15 times.
But they wait until you like kill 4 of them, and they're like, hey, by the way, shoot the arms off.
Yeah.
Because they want you to be like, these are impossible to kill.
Yeah.
And then they tell you, here you go. Here you go, pal.
Yep.
Take care of that. But dude, a lot of things in this game are like weirdly unique and don't even happen in new games. Like, I love the upgrade stations when you go in and you can, like, if you want to upgrade your suit to level 2. It literally opens up and you get into it and it kind of comes out with a new suit on. I like that. I think that's cool. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, and like the workbench, everything's like really loud because
I like how a lot of the
sound design in that game is just...
Yeah, it not always jump scary, but a lot of jump scary situations.
Oh, sure.
I like how a lot of the weapons are just like engineering tools that you relatively turned into a weapon. Like you find kind of an assault rifle and everything, but I like the best weapon in the game is just the saw.
Plasma cutter.
Yeah, exactly. That you would use like
moving,
in zero-G situations and stuff like that. Really cool. Crazy intense. A lot of anxiety in that game, which reminds me why even as a sophomore in high school I couldn't beat it by myself.
I think the biggest part of that being atmospheric, quote unquote, like that no one, or not no one, but a lot of people don't talk about or even realize because they're so like scared of the game and just concentrating, is that there is no HUD whatsoever.
No, yeah, you are the HUD.
No indicators, no
really
maps,
weird.
no life. It's all part of the world. So there's nothing that's ever kind of pulling you away
really cool.
or making you feel like you're not there. It's just
that's
brilliant design. Everything in that game is designed to perfection.
Yeah, maybe that really adds to the intensity, kind of not being pulled away from the game world.
Yeah.
I think you make a good point on that.
Even your menus are in live. You have to pull them up, and they're like projected from your shoulder.
I mean, your health is like a bar on your spine, which is really cool.
So to go in your inventory, and you're still in the game. You can be attacked when you're in your inventory because it doesn't pause the game.
Yeah.
It's all real time.
Another thing is like the, it's not entirely the AI, but like, they're really intelligent in that if you're in a battle,
the fucking dog.
And you're in a battle with two people in front of you, it's not a matter of like if there's somebody behind you, it's like when are the people who came out behind you gonna kill you? Yeah. Like you have to always be moving.
They have tactics, they're like the raptors in Jurassic Park.
Exactly.
They'll like just really stupidly charge you from the front, you're like, stupid
dummy.
Bitch. And then you get one behind you that comes up out of nowhere, and you're like, oh fuck!
Yeah, and they come out of the ventilation system and everything. But I'm loving it so far. We're going to play a little bit more here.
Let's go play. Like an hour? Can you play an hour?
Yeah, I can play an hour, for sure.
Sweet. It's about 9 hours long. So it really won't, even if we only play it roughly an hour at a time.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
It won't even take us that long.
No, absolutely.
So, cool.
Well,
that was a long episode. Thank you guys. If you stuck with the whole thing, I'm so proud of you.
We appreciate you.
We really do.
We're not going to do anything for you, but we appreciate you.
We'll make more podcasts.
If you like that. We'll keep doing that.
Got all kinds of stuff coming up for podcasts, and I haven't been doing a lot of content recently because I'm kind of in a weird spot with I'm just obsessed with games. I'm not playing games. I'm recording.
That's the content now.
That's all it is
you
the
are
podcasting.
Making content.
But not. It's not immediate. I don't have Total War stuff going up on Fridays right now.
You're doing research. Like you're technically doing research.
I am doing research.
Isn't that cool that you can call it that?
Nice.
Isn't that amazing? You like that? You like that I did there?
Oh,
hey,
look,
if I can overplay anything,
I gotta go review this game. That's what I gotta tell Alyssa. I need to get my review done.
I have to do work. Yeah. I have to get work. Can we call it work even though we don't get paid?
Yeah, volunteer work.
We can volunteer work. Yeah,
that's still hard work. Sweat of your brow.
Sweat of my hands.
Workman blue collar motherfuckers.
Blue collar.
Sitting down, rolling the sleeves up, putting on the hard cap.
And playing Dead Space.
You
throw on your blue jeans.
Playing Assassin's Creed. Getting those overalls. The toolbox, lunchbox.
Oh my god.
Let's go get this done, son.
I hope I come in one day and you just have like a farmer's tan and chew in your mouth and you're just spitting into a can.
It's time to get this done, boy.
Time to get her done.
Get her done. Oh, man.
PC Master Race. What?
Yeah, are you there?
No, God, I'm not there. I hate that shit so much.
So do I.
That was one of the few things that made me not want a PC.
I don't get any of the preferences of anything.
No, I try
play everything you want.
I try not to pick a team. I'm really happy where I'm at right now.
And that's the way I get to enjoy almost everything.
Yeah.
Everything that I'm in.
Interesting how that works, huh? When you let things into your life, you can enjoy them. Yeah. Crazy, right? Like you don't have to pick a side. And
that was I always think of good like kind of retorts way too late. Like comebacks. Yeah. Not comebacks, because it wasn't an argument. But it was something like we were discussing how, hey, we can play whatever game. I was giving you shit for not playing Witcher Horizon.
Oh, right.
People should play what they want to, and I'm like, totally agree. Mm-hmm. But then I was thinking, well, you're totally right. Don't disagree with that at all.
But
what were what were a handful of your top 5 games? Just a couple of that we did for our
recording.
Yeah,
I know Last of Us was on there, Oblivion was on there, and I couldn't even tell you the other 3 without going.
Last of Us and Oblivion were both on there.
Yeah.
I think the rest of them were also single player games.
Yeah, probably.
So,
because it's what sticks, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
It's what sticks. No. Oh, wait a minute.
So it's like you should probably give those a chance.
Oh, wait a minute. I did mention on one of my close honorable mentions it would have been Overwatch if I had more time with it. If we did that list now, one of them would be Overwatch.
Yeah, you're going to remove. So 1/5.
Shabuya.
1/5 of your top 5 games is the multi. I'm just saying. You're right. Play whatever you want. But at the end of the day,
hey, you know,
some of those are going to mean more to you and over the period of time. You're not going to remember, like, Overwatch is amazing. You're like, Overwatch is just great. I don't remember, like, any
not
of
true.
the
I will remember
specific
Overwatch.
thing. No, I'm not saying for the game. You'll love the game for the rest of your life.
You're right.
It's a amazing game. My point is, years from now, you're like, yeah, I played Overwatch.
Yeah. You know, that's what you get. That's what you do in Overwatch, though. There's not really a story there.
I know there's no story. I don't fault it for not having a story. My point is, the reason that your top 5 games are all single player games is because they impact you with something like a movie does.
2 months later, you make a great point, Ian.
I know. I just really want to talk about Witcher with someone, and no one plays it. And I want to talk to someone about it.
Yell at your other friends. God damn it! I'm here recording a podcast.
I give Tim shit.
Playing
I
Dead
give Doug
Space.
shit. I give Kevin shit. I give everyone shit for not playing
fair.
that.
It's fair.
Fairly across the board.
Absolutely.
You know,
you're an equal opportunity shit giver, which I appreciate.
Agreed, bro. Let's go play Dead Space.
PC Master Race. Later.
You want to take that back?
No, I apologize. I don't mean that at all.